guys, so in this lesson we will be discussing jazz rhythm and articulation. We're going to be focusing on the melody, so I'm not going to be playing any chords at all in this video, so that we can exclusively focus on the melody. Now, rhythm and articulation are very important. To make a song sound jazzy, it doesn't really matter what notes you play, but the rhythm with which you play them. This is important to know because lead sheets often give you a simplified version of the melody. Now, this makes the lead sheet easier to read, but also makes the melody much more boring to listen to and play. The purpose of a lead sheet is to give you the skeleton or the outline of a song with the basic chords and melody. It's then your job to take that outline and make it interesting. And one of the ways to do this is by varying the rhythm. Autumn Leaves is a good example of this, where the lead sheet shows the melody being played all on the beat. But you would never actually play this song like this. It's just too boring. Instead, you'd vary up the rhythm of the melody, firstly to make it swing, but also to make it a bit more interesting and syncopated and jazzy. So to demonstrate jazz rhythm and articulation, let's take a really boring melody and jazz it up. So as our example, let's take the song Twinkle Twinkle. As you can see, all the notes in the melody are played on the beat. Now let's play a jazzier version of this melody by altering the rhythm and articulation. Okay, so I did a number of different things there, and to discuss them, let's split rhythm up into a number of components. First, let's talk about the macro rhythm, or the rhythm that I'm using overall through the whole little song. So obviously in jazz, it's generally played with a swing rhythm, and we want to use quite a bit of syncopation, which kind of means that we're aiming for an uneven or irregular or lopsided rhythm. In terms of note duration, we generally want to use eighth notes that are obviously swung, triplets, but we can also use longer notes, especially at the end of phrases. We also want to use rests, right? So periods of silence. This creates a lot more space in your melody, and it can help really emphasize that feeling of syncopation or irregular or uneven rhythm. In terms of note placement, we want each phrase to be a combination of on-beat and off-beat notes. That again is really going to help with that feeling of syncopation. And we especially want to start and end phrases on an offbeat. So instead of going 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, you can go 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1, 2, and. So then instead of playing all the notes on the beat, we started our phrase on an offbeat, then the middle of our phrase were a few notes that were on the beat, and then we finished our phrase where the last note was off the beat again. Now this general pattern of off the beat, on the beat, off the beat, sounds very syncopated and very jazzy. We can also anticipate and delay notes by half a beat. So for example, where the note A comes in on beat 1 of bar 2 in the song, we can anticipate it by half a beat by playing it half a beat early on the fore end of the previous bar. Now in terms of articulation, we really want our touch to be quite bouncy and punchy. Not quite staccato, but also not legato unless you're playing, a Bill Evans style ballad. You could probably say that we want to play marcato. And we also want to accent notes occasionally throughout the melody, both on-beat and off-beat notes. So just playing the melody straight and really evenly and monotonically, you could play it like this. Where each note is roughly of the same volume, or you can accent notes occasionally. And that works even better once you start inserting those swung eighth notes and varying the rhythm a bit. So occasionally accenting notes throughout the melody helps create a kind of rhythmic layer on top of the melody. And this helps to give your melody a bit more force and a bit more rhythmic interest. And finally, the last component is ornamentation. You can use ghost notes or crush notes or grace notes like I did in that jazzier version of Twinkle Twinkle. But you can also use, whatever you want, tremolos, glissandos, turns, mordents, trills, whatever. You can make it all work. And that again gives the song just a little bit more rhythmic movement. So I used all of these ideas to jazz up the rhythm in Twinkle Twinkle. And I hope that you agree that even without any chords, just the melody by itself sounds quite jazzy because of the way that I played it. If we wanted to jazz it up even further, then we would start adding, interesting chords with interesting voicings and all the other stuff that I discuss in all my other videos. But for the moment, that's it for this lesson. Thanks for watching, guys, and see you next time. Bye.